What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I'm bringing another Q&A in the Q&A series. I believe this is number 7 or 8. I'm not really sure. I'll know by the time the video is up. But if you're new to this, if you just haven't seen the previous ones, I will link the previous one in the description below. And basically what I do is every now and then, every like 1 or 2 weeks or so, I'll allow you two guys to ask me a comment or a question in the comment section below, and then I toss that comment up in the video and I answer it like this. Then we have gameplay in the background, and it's just all sorts of fun. So without further ado, let's get into these questions. I don't know what this was. I'm a little hyped on coffee. Hold on, let me get my little sip. There we go. Alright, first question is CustomXena 22203. 22203, that one. What if Gohan never stopped training? Well, technically, we've already seen that before, and that was in the future, in Trunks' future, where Gohan was basically forced to be a, I guess, warrior the entire time. He was a badass. Now, granted, he did die, and we never really got to see his full potential, but he was definitely a different warrior. The Gohan in the future timeline was more darker, more into protecting the universe. It's like he had accepted his fate that he was going to be the protector and the savior of that era. Now, if Gohan stopped training, if our Gohan never stopped training, he would definitely probably be in the same caliber as Goku and Vegeta, if not somewhere above them. Because we know when when Gohan achieved his potential unleashed form, his mystic form, his ultimate form, whatever you prefer to call it as, he was stronger than Goku at the time. But the fact that he wasn't a warrior, he wasn't a fighter, he was kind of an idiot, is the reason why he ultimately ended up getting absorbed by Majin Buu. So that's what happened there. But ultimately, if you never stop training, he'd be a badass. But unfortunately, that's not who Gohan was, and the Gohan that we got is the one that he always wanted to be ever since he was a little kid. So we gotta accept that. Next question is from kirbytiger. Have you ever seen Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood? Does this answer your question? Actually, I just bought these. This is only 14 volumes. The other 7 are, no, the other 15 actually, because it's 27 volumes, are actually on this. Hold my computer up. Yeah, I have seen Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I love it. It's freaking awesome. It's one of my favorite series, easily in my top 10. If you have not seen it, check it out. Now, before I continue, make sure you watch Brotherhood, not the regular Fullmetal Alchemist. When the first anime came out, this was still being produced. Like, this came out in 2001. So they made essentially a whole filler series based on the characters of Fullmetal Alchemist, and when the manga finished, then they did a series which is known as Brotherhood. So check out Brotherhood, or check out both if you want, but Brotherhood is absolutely incredible, so go watch that if you haven't. But I'm sure all you guys already have, because Fullmetal Alchemist is awesome. Next question comes from Nightmare1412, and he wants to know, are there any news that there will be a second season of One Punch Man? Sort of. So it's not confirmed, but Yusuke Murata, which is basically the author of the manga, not the original author of the webcomic, but the one who basically took the webcomic and turned it into the manga. Where are you? Come here. Right, there you go. The guy who turned the webcomic into these said he's going to work hard to give us a second season. So we're going to get a second season sometime in the future, maybe 2017 at earliest, because I know it takes a long time for mangas to be actually created, and then from there go into production. So I don't think 2016, which kind of sucks because the series is great, but at least we'll be getting more of these this year, so we can at least read them. But as far as the new anime, my guess is 2017 at best. So we'll have to check out something else in the meantime. So yeah. Next question comes from Oliver Brunson. He wants to know, do you think they would add Gogeta in Super? No. I've actually did a video like 2 times now talking about Fusion, and I don't think we'll ever see Fusion ever again outside of Gotenks. And it's just because Goten and Trunks are designed to be like the Fusion characters. Goku and Vegeta are designed to be the gods. Gohan is a nerd. Piccolo is just like the Namekian dude. Everybody has their thing, and Fusion is going to be Goten and Trunks' like key thing from now on. Whereas Goku and Vegeta are more focused on training themselves and fighting without help, which is why they both strived to achieve Super Saiyan Blue without the help of needing their friends. So they'll probably never ever fuse again just because of a pride thing, and 2, they'd rather get strong on their own. So I don't think we'll see Gogeta or Vegeta ever again, even though they kind of been hinting at it, but I don't think we'll ever see that again. Displex the Bosses wants to know, Ryan, do you think Toriyama will have a new arc, or will the Universe 6 tournament be the last? So I think this final arc, I keep calling it the final arc, but this third arc, let's say that, I think this third arc is going to be the final one in Dragon Ball Super. I don't know what's going to happen after that. As of right now, we know that Toriyama only has this arc planned, and he's been working on it ever since Super was announced a while ago. And the fact that he's kind of like known as being kind of a lazy writer, if you want to call him, he's probably not going to give us a new arc after this, at least this year. Now, Super has been very successful, and Dragon Ball Comeback has been huge in 2015, so I would not be surprised if we see more movies or another arc sometime in the future. But as of right now, the only thing planned for Dragon Ball Super is the Battle of Gods arc, Resurrection F arc, and then of course the final arc, the Champ arc. Now, the Champ arc is going to be pretty long. I will predict that, just because there's several things that can happen in it. We can have an actual tournament aspect. It might get interrupted with like an actual war or something. Who knows what can happen? There's so many ways to take that story that we're not really thinking about. It won't just be a tournament and then that's it. At least I hope not. Because if you guys remember, the Buu arc was many different scenes, I should say. They had the tournament in the beginning, then they had the whole build-up of like trying to get Majin Buu unsealed. The Majin Buu came out, then it was all peaceful, then it became Super Buu, then Kid Buu. There was a lot of like mini scenes within the Buu arc itself. It was like a really long arc, but like there were a bunch of like aspects to it, like different sagas and stuff to it. So as far as what's going to happen to the Champ arc, I am going to predict it's going to be a lot longer than what we got with the Resurrection F and Battle of Gods arc. But as far as what's going to happen afterwards, as of right now, I don't think so. But we'll see what happens down the line, because like I said, Super is very successful, so we would not be surprised if Toriyama gives us more. Kwame wants to know, are you going to start record stuff for your second channel? Yes, so as I kind of addressed before, I started my second channel because I thought it was just going to be really easy to basically make videos on that channel, just because it was a Let's Play channel. Literally all I have to do is sit down, play the games, record it, and upload it. But then I realized, oh my gosh, that actually takes up a lot of time, you know, sitting down to record for a couple hours a day, and then exporting it on top of doing my second channel, on top of living and like working all that stuff. I realized that doing a second channel is a lot of work. So I kind of like stopped uploading frequently on there. What I'm going to do is every time I start a new game, like for example Storm 4, I will do a full Let's Play on that channel. So that channel is going to be mostly based around what I'm playing at the time. So if I'm not playing any games, then technically I can't record it. And what I don't want to do either is I don't want to force content on that channel. Now I am still going to finish the Xenoverse Let's Play. I just have to kind of sit down and actually play it again and just get through that. But as far as uploading as frequent as I am on my main channel, I most likely won't do that, at least for now. So yeah, so we'll see what happens. But expect content on there just not as frequent as it is on this channel, because this is my main home for my content over here. Graduator14 wants to know, why Raging Blast 3, why not Budokai Tenkaichi 4? So to answer this question, basically, complaints ruined Tenkaichi 3. Apparently, based on surveys and feedback that Bandai Namco got at the time, a lot of people complained that Tenkaichi 3 and the entire Tenkaichi series was too difficult to play. If you notice, every Dragon Ball game after Tenkaichi, so Raging Blast, even Burst Limited in a way, even though Burst Limited was a little bit more skill-based than previous DBZ games, we had Raging Blast, Xenoverse, Battle Z, especially Battle Z. All those games were a lot more dumbed down, so anybody could sit down, pick it up, and play. There was some games like Xenoverse where you can get better at it, but as far as complexity, a lot of games were simplified just because people complained that these games were too difficult to play. With that said, because Tenkaichi 3 was too difficult, they kind of like canceled it and finished it, even though it was their best-selling game of all time. So from now on, every single DBZ game that they ever do again, it's going to be aimed at more of a general audience. So they're going to focus on making it easy to play, like Battle Z was, where anybody could literally pick it up and play. Probably not like Battle Z, but more like Xenoverse, where Xenoverse has a good balance of anybody can pick it up and play, and then you can actually get good at it. So as far as the complex DBZ games of the past, so most likely won't ever get those again. But Xenoverse is a good future in my opinion, so I like where they're going with those kind of games. So that's where we're kind of at with that. So that's what happened with Tenkaichi 3 and the continuation of that series. Also, I do want to point out that Tenkaichi 4 technically was Ultimate Tenkaichi. Whether you want to believe it or not, it counts as it. Okay, so Tenkaichi 4 is Ultimate Tenkaichi, but it's not. Ultimate Tenkaichi, like basically just got the Tenkaichi series' name, but from what they were trying to go for is they were trying to go for a simplified version of Tenkaichi 3, and then they gave us Tenkaichi 4, which is Ultimate Tenkaichi. Even though it's not the game, not that same game at all, if that makes sense. I'm confused myself right now. Put it this way. We no longer will receive Tenkaichi games unless we get an HD remake in the future, and it kind of sucks. But again, Xenoverse is a good future, so I'm okay with them going that direction. K-Dog Jr. wants to know, where in the Under Pressure video were you? Actually, it happened so fast, you can barely see me. In the beginning of the video, when they're like sitting down on a table, if you look in the very back of the table of the dining room, that's me sitting there with Jericho. It happens so fast, you literally just, and I'm gone. So check it out. I think it was like in the first 10 seconds or something like that. But yeah, that's my infamous cameo in that video. So it still was a lot of fun to do a shoot though. Calvin Jones, and oh my god, this is going to start a war. Who do you think would win, Itachi or Hiei? Oh my gosh, this is going to be a good fight. Now, my instincts instantly say Itachi, duh. There's no way that Hiei can beat Itachi, but at the same time, I have to remember that the Jigan Eye that Hiei has in a way, it's kind of like a Sharingan. He'll be able to basically see everything that Itachi tries to do. Itachi will not be able to do stuff like Genjutsu on him just because of the Jigan. On top of that, Hiei is a lot faster than Itachi, I will say that. So he has speed on him, and with me, I've always kind of counted speed as superior over anything. Obviously, power is a big thing, because Itachi does have a lot of power and stuff. They can take out Hiei in one shot, but at the same time, I don't think the Darkness Flame will hurt Hiei because he has control of it. So he can't do an Amaterasu, and 2, Hiei's speed ultimately is what's going to be the winner there. On top of that, he can always just fire Dragon and Darkness Flame, and that will literally destroy Itachi, I think. I don't see a way for Itachi to defend that. This will be a fun one. Let me ask you guys that. Who do you think would win, Itachi or Hiei? And this is a question I want to ask those who have seen both series. Don't just say, oh, Itachi, if you've never seen Yu Yu Hakusho. And if you've never seen Naruto, don't just say, oh, Hiei. Because both of these characters are very, very powerful. They're very, very fast. They have control of the Black Flame. They have the Jigana and the Sharingan, which in a way is kind of the same thing. So it'll be a pretty even match. Oh my gosh, this will be really, really good. I would not mind if Screw Attack did a death battle on this. You know what? I'm gonna go with Hiei just because he has the speed over it. Because I do know that Naruto characters aren't as fast as you think they are, and Hiei is a demon, number 1, so he has that over humans in the Naruto world. And 2, he has godly speed that would ultimately be his winning factor in the fight. But it'd be really, really close, really, really close. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below of who you think would win that fight. Pre-Sasuke Uchiha wants to know, Raging Blast 2 fighting is so much better than Xenoverse. I like Xenoverse better, but just me. Well, Raging Blast 2 was fun, and so was Raging Blast 1, but the thing that I didn't like about those games is they felt so stiff. I don't know if that makes sense. If you guys remember playing Tenkaichi 3, for example, the movement felt so fluid, like you were just so free and stuff. And then, I don't know what it was, but Raging Blast were just so stiff. I mean, it was still a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but it just felt like I can only do certain things. You know, the thing I like about Xenoverse better was the fact that it felt more free. It felt like you were more in control of your character when you walked around and flew around and fought and stuff like that. And that's why I like Xenoverse better. But as far as Raging Blast being a better fighting game, it's an opinion. I mean, a lot of people prefer one over the other, or none, one over the other, or other over whatever I'm trying to say. You get the point. Some people prefer Raging Blast, some people prefer Xenoverse, and that's just how it is. So yeah, what do you guys prefer actually? Is it Raging Blast or Xenoverse? Comment it below. The Stokesman wants to know, how do you know Logic? It's a funny story. I think I've told this before, but essentially, I used to be involved in the music scene back in like in 2007, from 2007 until now, pretty much. And I've worked with a lot of artists on the come up. And at the time, I was working with a guy named Quest. And I remember I somehow got connected to this guy named Chris Zaru, which is actually Logic's manager. And at the time, he was working with another artist. And I remember he called me up and he was like, you know what? I found this other artist. I'm gonna go meet with him. I might want to work with him. This is my impression of Chris's voice. And next thing I know, he calls you the next day. He goes, yep, I just signed another artist to my label. It was Logic. And I'm like, Logic? I know Logic. I've seen his music before. And I didn't actually meet him officially until his first tour back in 2011. Then we became friends and all that good stuff. But the whole VMG family is an actual family to me. Like, we kind of like, when we were all in music, we all kind of like came up together and stuff like that. And basically, I've known him since day one, essentially, if that makes sense. But he's a good guy. I love all those people over there. And if it wasn't for VMG, I would not have been in music this long. Because, like, the thing that I hated about the music industry is it's so cutthroat. It's very, very cutthroat. Everybody's out for each other. Everybody has, like, their own selfish desires. And because of that, I wanted out. But when I met, like, you know, Logic and them, I was like, wow, you guys actually are cool people. Like, I don't mind talking to you. It's not all about this, and that, and shaking hands. Like, you guys are actual people that are fun to be around. And basically, they restored my faith in the music industry at the time. So, great people. I freaking love them. And if you have not checked out Logic, check out his album that just came out, The Incredible True Story, back in November. It's pretty awesome. And let me know what you guys think about that, if you're a Logic fan already. Or if not, go become one, because he has awesome music and stuff like that. Mr. Kame wants to know, what the fuck, Rhymestyle? Why no DBZ game for 2016? Well, it's currently January 2nd. They're not going to announce a game yet. So all I can say is every single year, Bandai Namco has to put out at least one DBZ game, because that's what the contract says with, I forgot who the contract is with. I don't know if it's with like Toei or what it is, but they have to put out at least one game or they lose their license. So we'll definitely get a game this year. It's just a question of what is going to be that game. But it's not going to be Xenoverse 2. There's no way that they can do Xenoverse 2 unless they completely rush it, in which case I might be kind of nervous about that just because it's like, it's not time yet to put that game out. However, we might get something else in between, maybe an HD remake or something brand new to the series. We'll see. As soon as I find out, I will let you guys know. So keep an eye out on my channel this year for hopefully a new DBZ game, and we'll see what happens there. But there definitely will be something at least. JDOS Z wants to know, what other non-anime things do you like? Actually, I'm really into being human right now. My girlfriend introduced me to that about 2 weeks ago right now. Was it 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. And we literally watched almost 4 seasons in a 2-week span. It's a really great series. It's about like vampires and werewolves, which is funny because I was like hated that stuff, but they do really well in being human. It's nothing like Twilight. Like Twilight is just dog shit compared to what that series was like. So check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's awesome. The characters are great. And there's a lot of action in it, so I'm into that right now. But other than that, what other non-anime things am I into? I guess video games. Lots of video games. Figures. I like my figures. Look at that. Look at the Mega Man. Come on. Look at the Mega Man. Look at it. So badass. But yeah, that's basically it. So being human, figures, video games, average stuff that I kind of like right now. If that makes sense. Universe Spirit Bomb wants to know, after seeing the last One Punch Man episode, what is Saitama's power level? Well, according to writing, according to what Boros even says, spoiler alert by the way, if you want to skip over this part, then go like 30 seconds ahead. But Boros says that Saitama's power is unlimited, so technically it's unlimited, which is weird writing, but that's what it says, that's what the rule is, so his power level is unlimited. So yeah, that's that. Dubstep Dinosaur says, what is the SH Figure Arts figure you would like to see the most? Definitely Beerus. It comes out in March. I'm super excited about that. Also Champa. It's weird because I didn't ever think I would like Champa's character, but like Champa's awesome, and then the figure that they released, not released, but revealed back at I think Jump Festa, or in the last 2 months, let's say, is awesome. I want it, I need it. So I'd say the Champa figure and the Beerus figure the most. From what they haven't announced yet, I want something from Majin Buu related. Like I would not be opposed for a Kid Buu figure or Super Buu, which they've shown Super Buu off before, but they have not said anything about release dates for that at all. So Figure Arts, Tamashii Nations, give us some Majin Buu stuff, please. Do it. Do it right now. I need it for my wall. Yeah. Jane Anna 25 wants to know, how long did it take you to get your whole collection and figures on your shelf? Well, this is about a year and a half 2 years of collections, honestly. It started with, let's see if I can show you, bring up my camera. It started with, there we go. It started with that Super Saiyan SDCC Gohan up there, that one. I got that first, and next thing you know, I started getting these every now and then. But I say roughly 2 years. Thing is if you get into the figure collection hobby, whatever you want to call it, it's not one of those things that you can just start tomorrow and then buy like $2,000 worth of figures. You just gotta do it every couple months, and then it just kind of stocks up. But I'd say 2 years. Really, the last couple months though is when it picked up, because then I started expanding. I got that Light Yagami, of course. I got Kenshin Imura. I got these Mega Man figures from up there and there. Mewtwo. So it started with one figure, and then next thing you know, my wall is full of them 2 years later. So quite a bit of time. Anime Blaster wants to know, what got you interested in YouTube, and was there a YouTuber who inspired you? So in 2011, I went to Comic-Con in San Diego, and that's where I met people like Jericho. I didn't meet T-Mart there, but I met T-Mart through Jericho later. I met like X-Joss and those guys, and they exposed me to the YouTube world. I was like, holy crap, there's like a world on YouTube where people play video games, talk about it, there's community and stuff like that. And from there, I started like playing around with it. But it wasn't until 2013 when I made my first Dragon Ball video, and I realized, oh my gosh, there's a community of Dragon Ball fans on YouTube that I can kind of geek out over. And what I used to always do in the high school, middle school, is just geek out over Dragon Ball moments, talk about what ifs and all that good stuff. And now I'm doing that same thing, except for in a community on here. And that's what got me really into it. But if there was a YouTuber to blame for this, or YouTubers, it would definitely be Jericho, T-Mart, because those guys really got me into it. And then basically from there I met everybody else, and they all just kind of like made me realize I wanted to do this. So it was a big shout out to those guys. So yeah. Devin Collins wants to know, in your opinion, who can take more of a beating, Goku or Vegeta? Honestly, I'm gonna go with Vegeta just because I feel like, well, number one, he takes a lot of beatings in the series, and he still manages to stand up afterwards. Whereas Goku has always been kind of more like the guy who is more in an even playing field. So definitely Vegeta, just because he has tortured himself a lot through the series in trying to get stronger. And because of that, he can probably take a better beating than Goku can. So definitely Team Vegeta for this one. If you could eat a devil fruit, which one? Pick Zoan, Logia, or Paramecia. Ooh. Oh, this is a tough one. Honestly, I would probably want Logia Fruit. Yeah, I would want a Logia Fruit because I like the idea of being able to turn to an element. Whether it's like turning to fire or turning into sand like Crocodile, or turning into lightning or whatever. I think I would do the Logia Fruit just because it'll be awesome. Like, dude, I'm freaking fire. Like, look at me. I'm lightning. I'm water. I'm paper. Whatever my freaking element ends up being. I think that'd be cool because then you can do so much things with that ability. But what about you guys? For those who don't know, Zoan is like a transformation fruit, like being able to turn into like an animal. Paramecia would be like some kind of power, like Law's ability with his operation, being able to do stuff like that. Not the flick, but like being able to, like, you know, special power essentially. I don't know how to explain it. And then Logia obviously is like an element, so being able to turn it into, like, you know, rubber or fire or whatever. So what would you want? Comment it below. Next question comes from McKinley Dazima, and he wants to know, Rhymestyle, what are your top 5 animes from 2015? I bet Dragon Ball Super and Caillou Shippuden, One Punch Man are your top 2. I hate the Caillou references. The reason why is because they were funny the first time, but now it's like 4 months, 5 months later, people are still talking about, One Punch Man is basically a grown-up Caillou. We get it. It was funny 6 months ago. But my favorite series this year, this is a tough one. I've seen so many things. Definitely Parasite. Parasite is on my top 5 from this year. I mean, obviously One Punch Man is my number 1. Yes, my number 1. I would not put Dragon Ball Super in my number 1, only because there hasn't been anything new yet. When we see new stuff this month, then I'll judge that. But for now, Dragon Ball Super to me is a retelling of what happened last year. Then again, Resurrection F came out this year, so you can count that as new stuff. And that was pretty exciting, but that's a movie, so I can't count Dragon Ball Super stuff until we get at least new anime content, if that makes sense. But as far as my top stuff off the top of the head, definitely Parasite, One Punch Man, and I don't know what else I watched this year. I watched a lot of stuff. I'll just go with those 2 for now. Yeah, I might do a separate video breaking out my top 5 animes of 2015. And the final question says, Shenron2025 wants to know, you said in the video that Bandai has to release a Dragon Ball game every year, so would you want the next game to be an RPG format or a fighting format? Ooh. See, the thing that I've always liked about DBZ games is they're always different from one another. Like, unlike Storm, the Naruto Storm series is always essentially the same format, and therefore it's never been as exciting for me to get a new Storm game every year. But as far as Dragon Ball game, every game has been different. It's either really, really good, or it's Battle of Z, or even worse, Ultimate Tenkaichi. But still being able to wait and play something differently has always been really exciting to me, and I would not be opposed to getting an RPG format game, because like I said, it'd be something different. On top of that, I know Xenoverse 2 is happening in the future, so it's like, okay, I would not mind playing an RPG game in the meantime, because again, it's a different way to experience it, and then from there, you know, we get something else. You know what? I would not be opposed if they do Dragon Ball Heroes, because like I said, I've been playing a lot of Dokkan Battle this year, and it's time for something else different in between while we wait for Xenoverse 2. At least that's what I think. So, yeah. Anyway, so that is my Q&A this week. Again, if you want to be in the next Q&A, all you have to do is drop a question below, and I'll pick out a bunch of questions from the comment section and then answer next week in a similar format. So ask away, ask anything, and I guess I'll see you guys next week. Of course, if you enjoyed today's Q&A video, make sure you leave a like button below. And don't forget, there's no Dragon Ball Super episode this week. They're taking a break because of holiday reasons, because they are humans, so let them have their break for a week from like New Year's Eve and all that good stuff. But next week, we'll be back with the continuation of the Resurrection F arc. I'm about to burp. There it is. And, you know, we'll talk about Super next week again. But for now, ask a question, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.